Okay, guys, got a little update where we're at now. I can see, let's see, start here on the Dodge. I've got the fenders completely off of it. I have the wiring harness that's on the engine. It's still hooked to the engine, so I didn't have to worry about all that. I know a lot of this will go to like headlights and stuff around the sides. You can see into the firewall there where everything's been disconnected. The brake booster's been disconnected. You can see on the inside where I've just totally wiped out the dash so I could get all the wiring out. A lot of that that goes on over that side I won't be using. It was all HVAC, heating, cooling, and stuff like that. But I'll worry about that when I get to the actual thinning down the wiring harness. And you can see here these holes here and these here. I need to copy that to the mixer truck. And what I did with Rat Dooley was I actually cut out this on the firewall. This cab, since it's been already destroyed to this point, and it does have some rust damage, I'm not worried. I'm not gonna fret over trying to save it to sell to anybody. The doors are still good. They'll still be for sale, but the cab itself, I'm not gonna worry about it. Even the glass is good, and that might get damaged when I pull the cab off the frame. But anyway, I think that's probably what I'll do is I'll bring the torch out and cut around the perimeter, give it plenty of room, mark it with a marker and just cut around there. That way I go to put it on the mixer truck, I just have to drill these 3 holes first, attach it, tighten it down, and then I can mark these other holes, take it off, cut them out, and actually I won't even need to take it back off. I can just cut through these holes and then put it back together. That way I got that extra thickness so that there won't be any flex in the firewall. Okay, yeah, you can see it here. There's a plate on the back side. That's what I'm going to copy right there, is that plate. And actually, okay, there's a throttle cable up there too that I'll be taking loose so it doesn't get destroyed in the cutting. But yeah, that's what I'll do, is I'll actually cut it from the outside, and I'll just trace around this plate all the way around, so that whenever I come over to the truck, to the mixer truck, I'll basically just put it right there, figure out my height, kind of figure out from the inside, and then I can drill my holes or cut my holes, mount it right there. Then my master cylinder should bolt right onto that. And yeah, in fact, there's a lot that I've ran across that is making this should turn out much better than Rat Dooley did, and just all in all go a whole lot smoother, knock on wood. But that's the first couple things I'm gonna be working on in this video, is cutting that firewall out, getting it. I'll cut it off the Dodge. I'm not going to mount it here yet, because what I need to do over here next is take the steering system loose, the steering column out of the way. And I think the easiest way to do this would probably be go ahead and take these 4 bolts off the top of the steering box, and that should let that steering shaft come on up. And in here, I'll take these loose, and then this piece here comes loose. That should get that out of the way. I'll probably go ahead and torch off the brake and clutch pedal, get them out of the way. Or I may go ahead and pull that panel up, because if I take the panel up, then I can probably see where I can unbolt these from where they're at. And if I can do that and keep that all intact, because that's going to take a lot of heat and gas to cut those off. So yeah, and just looking at the firewall, that I think that's going to work out good for the brake assembly. Thinking maybe the hole for the steering may end up being higher for the steering column than what it is on the other one. Oh, you can't see because the pedal's in the way. I'll probably have to come up higher for where the steering comes through. Well, I know I will. See, this is where the steering shaft actually comes through this hole right here, this one. And it's actually quite a ways up. You know, if you look at the curve here and then up that way, it's probably a good 6 inches from where the floor transitions. And this one has a similar transition here. So yeah, that would put it more up in here. So one thing I need to do now, I had done it the first day I messed with it, but I had the fenders in the way then, and I couldn't really get an accurate measurement. But I'm going to go back and measure again. Now I can see the center of my axle right here. I'll measure from that, and I'm going to use this seam right here as my reference point. That way, when I go to place my cab, I know exactly where it needs to be, so that when I bolt the fenders back on, they center my center the tires. So that's what I'm looking at doing right off the bat. First is go ahead and cut that out of the firewall. Go get the torch out for that. Of course, I'm wearing shorts today. Perfect. I'll just try not to burn myself. That's what I'm going to start off with. Is number one, cut that out of the firewall. Number two, get the steering shaft out of here. And maybe that's it. That should be plenty for this video. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going extra safety up top. Good glasses, earplugs, heavier gloves to make up for the fact that I'm shorts and tennis shoes. So hope it evens out. All right, step one, successful. Not only template, but also reinforcement for the firewall. So let's move over there and see how it fits. Okay, I noticed my cuts wasn't the smoothest, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it up, clean up the edges with the torch, and that way I know that I got it on there good. So we're looking at something about like that. This was lined up with that edge, whatever you want to call that. I got some frame mount here, or some cab mount structure there I don't want to get into, so I may trim like that, around it. Look at me with that marker. Sharpie marker dying. I'm focusing on these gloves today because when I was out here cutting the other day, I had little short mechanic gloves on, flared out like this, but down low. I got burns all across the back of my hand. Kind of hard to focus whenever the back of your hand's on fire. Just words to now I'm running out of gas. I ain't gonna do a whole lot. Get another marker, because this one is used. Yeah, I definitely should have drilled these with the drill, not wasted gas on it. Okay, now I'm hoping that my hole saws have what it takes. Yeah, clearly not a metal saw. So let's switch to a smaller hole. I could really use a set of metal hole saws, but I'll try to buy without it. Some looby dooby on that. Oop. Yes, I did say looby dooby. For those in the know, that's a term. Hoodin's Fab Shop, one of my favorite channels to watch. Is that the proper way to use a hole saw? Probably not. That's the way I'm going to do it anyway. But yes. Now, maybe if I do that from the inside, that's some pretty big stuff there. That's what I can't do. Work a bit right off of it. And they do not work good without a bit. Okay, I was digging through my bit drawer, and I ended up grabbing this. Yeah, it's a, what do you call it, a spade bit. I don't need it to drill the hole, but I figured that shaft would be a whole lot stronger to keep it centered than a drill bit. So why waste the money? Alright, perfect. Okay, and now, the problem I got with this one not being sharp enough is, I'll double check, but I think that's the size of the bulkhead thing for all the wires to go through. I think it's about this size. I'll check it right now. Yes, that is exactly the size I need for the bulkhead wiring thing to go through. So, an option is, I do have a blade sharpening setup that I'm not really trained on, but I think I can figure it out with this. In fact, I'm going to bolt that tight, and then I'm going to mark and drill it. Done with the hole saws. All the hole saws said amen. Okay, now my thought process is I'll go ahead and get vice grips, clamp them on there, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until it's nope. The drill bit fairy's been skipping out and not getting my drill bits sharpened. Okay, I said potential problem coming up now. I'll have to do some measuring, but it may not save me anyway. I may have to do something drastic. But this is my master cylinder up here, and that means my vacuum thing is around here. It may not get into this. I really hope it don't. I don't want to have to shop around and find a smaller one. I've done it before. I've used different like Ford Rangers and ones like that that have smaller ones. I'll go that route if I have to, but I'd rather not. But anyway, that's something for me to keep in mind whenever we go to put everything back together. I could probably save me some aggravation and go ahead and take that master cylinder loose from the brake lines and put it over here, but then I've opened up the brake system, which means I have to bleed the brake system, and I'd rather not have to redo all that. So I'll do my measuring best I can, and just hope it all works out. This is going to take some, after I get the cab free of this frame and get it sitting down, there's a lot of holes in this firewall that I'm going to want to patch up, and some I want to add. Okay, now we're inside the truck, and this steering column has come out. Right now I have the new instrument cluster sitting on top of it. Move it out of the way, but I'm definitely optimistic about how well everything wants to fit on this one. I hate to say that. You'll probably get tired of hearing that I'm cautiously optimistic. It's about this time in the Dodge experience that it decided to come out of park and go for a ride down the driveway. I'm gonna exaggerate. That should crank itself apart. Well, that steering box is not coming apart the way I anticipated. I thought for sure I took that loose, it would just come right up out of there. But I don't need it to come out of there. I got cutoff wheels. All right. And there we go. Okay. I just had an idea for the name of a shop that only built rat rods. You call it, but Beyond Tetanus. Isn't that clever? I'm thinking of that as I'm wrestling with a rusty piece of steel, scratching my legs up. Lock this one up with some bolts. We pretend that the master cylinder. Of course, I need to get some bolts. All right, there's the Dodge steering wheel. That may not be too much in your lap, but I don't think we got much options in it anymore. Get that cluster set back like that. As long as I center the cluster on the steering wheel, it will look right. Now that tachometer there, which we won't need because we'll have this tachometer here, it can go away. I'll make a patch panel for that. I was going to take the rest of those gauges out and stuff, but I am pooped. I am happy with it, what we got done today. We use a knee. Change angles here. And of course, all this has to come out. This will come out. I do like that parking brake. I might have to find some way to keep it, being we have the parking cable. Could mount the parking brake over here where it was on the Dodge. I can find some way to anchor it. But yeah, I think the pedals are where they need to be at. Put that floor piece back in here and verify it. I believe it's correct. That away. Make way for the new wires. Don't you know? Yeah, not bad for a day's work, half a day's work, part of a day's work, whatever it was. Yeah, I get that done up to set back in there. And I will be very happy with that. I think Andy would be very happy with that too. I told him I was going to be shooting videos of it. I don't know how much YouTubing he does, but I was going to send him links for stuff as I uploaded it, and I hadn't done it yet. I really like kind of keep it a surprise, which I mean the first parts were obvious moves that had to be done, you know, obvious, you know, taking apart and all that stuff like this, where we're getting more into the building of it. I think I get the seat back in where it needs to be at. This whole pedestal that this old seat's on is a mess, a ratty mess. Be up in somebody's chest. Hopefully I can get the original seats up in there. They usually push it forward, just the nature of them. I don't know. I have enough cap. It's setting probably a good 3 inches back from where the original was. Let's see. Going from the, well, no, it's actually only about 2 inches closer than the other one was. That's weird. Okay. Oh, that's not too bad then. Having that tilt will definitely help. We'll see. Actually, if sitting up higher, you're not going to be as close on it. But yeah, get all this mocked up into place, and then take it all out of here so I don't damage anything when we take this cap off. Still ain't figured out, been underneath there to see how this cap actually mounts on here. That may not be very fun to get to. And this pedestal that's in here for this seat, it's going to have to come out in order to get the other ones in here, I'm afraid. I don't know. I'll get this back out of here next time and try setting one of those seats up on top of this pedestal. See how it does. But anyway, I'm gonna have to call it a day. I need to get all this cleaned up. I need to go take a nap. And let's see what I got for you scripturally today. James is my go-to guy. James, brother of Jesus, writing a letter to the Christians that had been dispersed when the Roman persecutions started kicking in. Everybody scattered, and this was kind of a letter of encouragement to them to not give up and stand strong, and just a really good starting point, which I heard before I really got into it. A pastor friend of mine, Corey, was talking to a new believer that asked where he should start in the Bible, and he told him start off with James and then read the Gospel according to John. And since I've heard that, going back and reading those, I can definitely see why, because James just really totally outlines the standard that a Christian should hold themselves to, and John just tells you the whole story in a very well written, beautiful way. He was quite the writer. You could tell he really labored. He wasn't just reporting facts or recording memories. He was trying to make a beautiful document that kind of conveyed his feelings in the whole matter. So I don't have a scripture for you tonight, but I'll just end it on that. You know, if you're new, a new believer, or maybe you just haven't really focused on, can't decide where you want to start, or reread. I just recommend get to know the book of James, just inside and outside, and then go ahead and read John and see where it takes you. So never hurts. This is Glenn for G&P Custom Fabrication, living the dream till the freaking phone rings. Thanks for watching.